Hey guys, Sam here.
And Angela, and welcome to our channel.
We have a really exciting video for you guys. What is the ultimate goal of this video, Angela? What is the most exciting part?
My greenhouse comes.
Oh yes, greenhouse day is here. However, like any good project, that's got to start off with a piece of heavy equipment rental and destroying some part of the property. All in the name of progress though, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. That's right, this starts off with a skid steer rental, which is one of my most favorite pieces of equipment to rent because they're just fun. If you've not driven one, find any reason to get one. Rent it, buy it if you're cool enough. Regardless, test it out. The point of this rental is twofold. Number one, to get rid of all the concrete that has been piled up on our property between our two solar panel arrays. We have leftover block from when we first had our single wide built out here many years ago. We have all of the footers from getting rid of the single wide when we built our new house in December. And we also have all of the block that was our old perimeter wall around the single wide. Needless to say, it is a concrete jungle and it was not really safe or stable. The cats like to play over there and we didn't really want to find any squished kittens. And we also knew that if this was left long term, it was going to become a habitat for mice, which attract snakes, which is not what I consider a good time. So we're faced with two options. Number one, spend a lot of money and rent a piece of equipment to move all of this concrete into a dumpster that we would then rent and pay to have it hauled off to be someone else's issue, namely the county landfill. Option two, which is what we chose to do, was to keep our own problems, and make our own landfill. You might be cringing over this, but this is only concrete and rebar. It's rock and steel going back in the earth, and for us was the smartest, most affordable, and I guess you could say the most eco-friendly decision to make, and that's what we did. So the overall process for getting rid of the concrete was to use the skid steer and dig a pit. Skid steers are not really known for their digging ability, so what I did was pretty much excavate a ramp down into the earth. I ended up going about 5.5 to 6 feet deep and 3 times the width of the skid steer. So I think in total this was a pit probably about 20 feet long, maybe about 15 feet, maybe 12 feet wide, and 5 or 6 feet deep. I then scooped up all the concrete, the pod footers, the busted up block, all of that stuff, threw it in the bottom of that pit, and then covered it back up. Once that was done, it got rid of the mice nest, snake habitat, dangerous part and junky part of our property. I then turned the attention of the skid steer and myself towards final grading the back of our home. Right there where our single wide mobile home used to be, it was really rough. There was not any final grading done there because it was not the responsibility of people from Clayton doing the new home. It was on us, so I wanted to get that taken care of. Thankfully though, by digging that concrete pit, I had a lot of topsoil or just general fill dirt to use, and I used it to sculpt, smooth, compact, and make what I think ended up turning out to be a pretty nice looking backyard. I maintained positive drainage away from the home, so when it rains, we don't have water funneling to the house. I then also made it as level as possible and still kept the natural drainage flow of our backyard, so I didn't cause any issues. For a complete amateur, I think it turned out pretty good. Now with all of that done, then we get to go to the cool part of which Angela's going to share the story with you, which is her greenhouse delivery.
So fast forward a little bit, and here comes the day that my greenhouse gets delivered. We were told a time that they were going to deliver, so we knew when to watch for them. And we expected, you know, like a big truck, like a dually or something like that, bringing a trailer in. And in comes like a tractor trailer, like an 18-wheeler with a trailer. And they were going to have to back into our property, which was kind of scary. We didn't really get a whole lot of footage of it, but he did really good backing it up and kind of into place. And then he was able to pull along the greenhouse into the spot it's in. So without further ado, let's look at a tour of the greenhouse. The last time we were out here, I asked you to imagine a greenhouse here. Well, I think it's a little... In our last video, I asked you to imagine a greenhouse here. Well, here it is. It's a lot easier to imagine now because it is here. So here is the inside of the greenhouse. It is an 8x12 greenhouse with opaque ceilings and nice windows on the outside that open so you can get a nice cross breeze in here. There's plenty of potting benches. There's actually a soil bench right here that has a little trash can that you can put the dirt in if you need to. That way it doesn't go all over the floor. And I just really like the amount of space where I can put plants or whatever it is that I want to grow, flowers or anything in here. So here in the middle of the table is the seed tray that I've already started. Sam made some really nice plant ID markers for all the vegetables and flowers that we're going to be growing. These are all just vegetables, but they are very nice and you can see them even if it's bright outside, and it looks like they'll last forever. If you watched in our last video, we looked at several greenhouses like this one, and this one is actually just like one of them that we looked at, except it's a different color. It matches our house a little bit better and the look we're going for in the garden. The floors and the counters in here have treated plywood so that they'll last a long time. There's also enough room in the gable ends that we can add a fan in the future if we want to. So that's it for inside. Let's go outside and get some work done.
Well, what did you guys think? That greenhouse looks really, really nice. Now I feel like I've got to defend my honor. Why didn't we build one? Why didn't I build one? And basically it comes down to time. My business, the Sam Craft business of making products and selling, of which we both work at a lot, it really takes up a lot of time. And I knew that if I was going to try to build this, I was either one, going to neglect my business, which I can't do, or two, it was going to take until probably next spring to get it done, which wasn't going to work.
No.
Then after seeing the local greenhouses and their prices being affordable and just how much you really liked it, why not? Spoil Angela, right? I need some brownie points. Goodness knows I need brownie points. So that's what we did.
So I'm really excited about what's coming next, which is putting my garden beds into the new garden area. Now there's a lot of work involved with that, a lot of digging and stuff like that, but we'll bring you along for that and you'll get to see how we are going to lay out our new garden area.
Absolutely. Plus, if you have been here for multiple years, you'll get a chance to see how the birdie beds, metal raised beds, have fared after what, 3 years?
I think it's been 3 years.
So a pretty good example, or check it out, of how well they've lasted, especially with us not necessarily treating them with white gloves.
No, normal.
Normal gloves. No gloves. There's no gloves around here.
Thanks for coming along as we destroyed a little bit of our land and then fixed it back, and getting to see our new greenhouse.
Oh, it's our greenhouse now. I thought I just heard my greenhouse.
It's either or.
It doesn't matter. It looks great. You did really good on picking out a very pretty one.
Thank you. It matches everything nicely.
It does.
So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Get out of here. There's mosquitoes everywhere. And cats.